Jared Wareham, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Cattle Call. Today I'm in Whitfield, Virginia, and joined by Matthew Miller, who is the Virginia Tech Extension Agent and fellow cattleman.
That's right. Yeah, glad to have you here.
We are going to kind of, real quick, we're going to talk about the use of helicopters for pest, invasive weed control.
Sure, weed control, improved pasture,
Yeah, and kind of management of those pest, plants and stuff. But real quick, he's going to explain to us what we got in the background here. This is something pretty special, something brand new that's being built in this area.
Absolutely. So just take a moment to feature what you guys see behind me is the Apex facility. It's going to be located at exit 77 right here in Witt County. Scheduled to open fall of this year. And that structure is a 300 by 300 foot indoor arena. And Jerry, we want to host everything. So whether it's cattle shows, horse shows, motocross events, we're set up. We're going to have a 150 by 300 foot arena floor. So we're really excited, and we would encourage viewers to check into the Apex and bring events here to Whitfield.
Yeah, it'd be good for agriculture in this area, especially.
Absolutely, it's unique to have a county that's invested the type of funds that we have in a structure that will feature some agriculture events. It's key to our community, and we know that agriculture is going to bring a lot of visitors here to Whitfield, and we're excited about it.
Awesome. Well, one thing in agriculture I know we want to talk about today is something that guys in our area of the Midwest, and not just the Midwest but other places, unless you are in an area with terrain that is challenging and restricts access, you don't really understand maybe how you go through the process of having to control pest weeds.
Sure.
or invasive species like that. So,
well, it's Witt County, we've got about 60,000 mama cows right here in this county. Obviously, beef cattle is a huge component of Southwest Virginia, but we are about 3,000 feet elevation. We've got some pretty steep ground, and what we see with that, especially in other parts of Southwest Virginia, is there's part of that ground you cannot get over with a tractor. Sure, you can get on it with a four-wheeler, but it's fairly inefficient to spray large acreage. So one of the new things we've seen in recent years is helicopter application of herbicide, and it's made a huge difference for bringing ground that's overgrown, it's got some invasive species on it, for getting that back into good grass production. And we grow grass great. We're in a great climate to grow grass, but if you've got invasive species, this new aerial application has allowed people to return some ideal pasture back into pasture.
Well, anytime you're in an area, whether it's Virginia or Missouri or Arkansas, where I'm at, we grow a lot of the same grass.
Sure.
And so when you can grow grass great, you can grow a lot of weeds great too.
Oh yeah, and, so that's our climate's good for a lot of invasive weeds. With time and honestly some mismanagement, we've seen some property that's probably been taken over by some invasive weeds. One of the interesting things with generations is we probably don't have the farm diversity we used to have, and when that's gone away, we've probably seen some more pressure from some non-desirable species. But aerial application is letting a lot of our beef producers return some ideal pasture ground back in some really good grass-producing ground.
Can you give us an idea of about an investment cost per acre? Is there cost share programs? Is there stuff to kind of help producers?
Absolutely.
Maybe in this area or other areas that have some interest.
What's been interesting about the aerial application, I think just myself personally, when you think about that, you would think that the cost would be much greater than a tractor application, or let's just say a typical truck application. That really has not been the case. There are some volume requirements that a lot of our aerial applicators typically will have an acreage minimum. So you're not going to spray 5 acres with a helicopter, but if you're 40, 50 acres or bigger, they're going to do that. Cost, obviously your herbicide cost is identical to what it's going to be with everything else, whether that's truck, four-wheeler. And so really the cost has been very close to our ground application systems. And then some co-workers of mine especially worked on a grant. There's grant funds available for a lot of our producers in Southwest Virginia to get some cost share on some aerial applications. That's been a good deal.
Yeah, I tell you, when I saw it that one day where we've got the raw footage from up there in Rich Valley, the amount of acres that can be covered in an absolutely minimal amount of time was very impressive to me. I mean, I think he sprayed for 3 different owners that day.
Sure.
And if you're an owner and you're thinking landowner and you've got a lot to do, you're like, man, I've got a week's worth of spraying, and you never get caught up on weed and pest species control.
Right.
It's always there. And if you've got, whether you got cattle work to do or you got a job in town, you got something, that's another thing that I saw as a big benefit was the time, the amount of time you've reduced in your labor expense, your personal labor expense in going out and doing it. Because
Sure.
when he showed up, instead of you having to spend a week hitting all those places, even if you could hit
Oh
them,
yeah, absolutely.
he can get it done in a couple of hours. I mean, he can
Oh,
cover
yeah.
hundreds of acres in a matter of hours,
Yeah.
and so it speeds up. And so we always sometimes look at that cost from an upfront cost, but we don't think about the back end stuff, what we're saving, and the amount of labor expense you've saved, the fuel expense, the time expense, and maybe we don't always want to break it down this way when we're talking about true business, but sometimes it's beyond business and emotional stuff. Or maybe
Sure.
you've got a ball game you got to go to, and you've got kids that are active in 4-H, and they're going to be showing here at this event center eventually one of these days, and you've got to get that done. Well, it may be that is the extra little bit of savings that pushes you over to
and
the
I
edge
would
to
agree.
using this
The
technology.
aerial application, especially in our area, what does it do? Well, if you've got ground, we've been really wet for the most part of this early part of our winter. We're obviously really hot as this video is being shot today, so a lot of our ground right now, even if you can get on it, with a truck or a tractor application, ground's too wet, hillsides are too wet, that's not a problem with aerial application. So you're exactly right in that the speed of that application, the precision, and how much ground he can cover, an aerial applicator can cover in a short amount of time, it exceeds any other application we've seen. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah.
And this has been a really, kind of one of those new things that I learned about just in the last 6 or 7 months. I thought it was cool enough. I got some good raw video when I was out here in the
Yeah,
fall.
well, it's been really new for Southwest Virginia. It's technology that really in the last 4 to 5 years has really grown. We're seeing some aerial application on some crop ground too, and very much for what you said, the speed of that application, the precision, and it's something I think we're going to continue to see to grow. More producers are going to use that technology.
I think what fascinated me so much was, I'm in the Midwest, so I'm used to crop dusting and seeing that.
Yeah.
And you obviously have to be near a landing strip in order to facilitate some of that.
Absolutely.
As you can see in the intro video that we did for this, all you have to have is that truck, and that helicopter can go anywhere. And, and so it makes their ability to be versatile and keep costs more efficient because all he has to do is land on the back of that truck. The guy goes up there with the hose, refills him, and he takes off and goes again. So I could see it having more applications across this country over time.
Oh, sure.
Than maybe just here where it started because of terrain it's just too hard to get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, glad we got to bring this to you today, and we'll catch you down the road. Thank
Sounds
you.
good.